Welcome to the Johnny Fongo Show. I am not Johnny Fongo. My name is Mia and I will be filling in for Johnny. It is August 6, 2021. Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find it on all the major streaming services and can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. If you like our podcast, please give us a like and a follow and be sure to tell a friend. Let's get started with the headlines for today. Press release: The Flower Corporation announces appointment to the board of directors. 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Dow Jones. The Week in Cannabis: Cannabis for Veterans, Canopy, Tilray, SMG, Big Earnings, Financings and more. 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Oklahoma activists prepare 2022 ballot measures to legalize marijuana and overhaul state's medical cannabis system. Marijuana moment. 3:37 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. BuzzFeed News launching its own cannabis brand and no, it's not called Buzzweed. 3:26 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. South Park, more seasons, movies, a video game and a cannabis brand. 3:24 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Canopy Growth Cannabis Company falls short on Q1 sales, Cantor maintains neutral rating. 2:41 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Why is there a renewed interest in hemp by textile and manufacturing companies? 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Canada's cannabis companies remain unprofitable almost 3 years into legalization. 2:19 p.m. Eastern Time, Market Watch. Canopy Growth stock is rising after earnings. Profit wasn't driven by marijuana sales. Barron's.com. 2:04 p.m. Eastern Time, Dow Jones. Understanding AdvisorShares Trust AdvisorShares Pure U.S. Cannabis ETFs Unusual Options Activity. 1:17 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Immersive cannabis experience, whatever that is, to debut in New York with a social justice twist. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Cannabis Daily Podcast 8/6, Lollapalooza gives Illinois a boost. Under the radar cannabis stocks you should know about. 12:50 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Illinois adult use weed sales hit all-time high in July with $128 million powered by Lollapalooza Festival, but state licensing process is still under attack. 11:23 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Cronos Group CBD Company shares slightly down after announcing Q2 2021 results and new CFO appointment. 10:09 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Cannabis movers and shakers, Akerna, Jushi, Glass House, Papa and Barkley, Media Central Corp., Santa Fe Farms, Cronos Group. 9:55 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. These OTC securities had the most trading activity in July. 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Skymint opens the largest cannabis dispensary in Coldwater, Michigan, offering 60 brands and cool atmosphere. 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Canopy Growth Q1 2022 revenue spikes 23% YOY, misses estimates, adjusted EBITDA loss narrows. 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Urban Grow, Inc. to host second quarter 2021 conference call at 4:15 ET on August 11, 2021. 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, Globe Newswire. Body and Mind has management agreements and option to acquire 2 Illinois entities that each win a Chicago conditional license in Illinois dispensary lottery. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, PR Newswire. POSABIT announces trading on the OTCQB venture market. 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time, Business Wire. Cantor Fitzgerald lowers price on Trulieve Cannabis Corp ahead of Q2 2021 report, still among top US picks. 8:41 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. The Valens Company, A1 Cannabis Company roll out 2 new THC-infused Summit 10 beverage flavors. 8:24 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Watch medical marijuana and unrivaled brands at the Benzinga Cannabis Hour. 8:03 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Harvest opens 16th Arizona dispensary in Mesa. 8 a.m. Eastern Time, PR Newswire. 5 brew-based stocks to consider for International Beer Day. 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. AUSA anticipating cease trade to be lifted shortly. 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time, PR Newswire. Kronos Group appoints Bob Mador as Chief Financial Officer. 7:33 a.m. Eastern Time, Globe Newswire. Canopy Growth reports first quarter fiscal 2022 financial results. 7 a.m. Eastern Time, PR Newswire. Verano to open new MUV Bradenton dispensary, providing increased access to medical cannabis for Florida patients. 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Globe Newswire. High Tide closes acquisition of Regina retail portfolio bolstering presence in Saskatchewan. 6:02 a.m. Eastern Time, Business Wire. NTEST reports 2021 second quarter financial results. 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Globe Newswire. Cannabis Sativa launches media site Cannabis Sativa magazine. For 20 a.m. Eastern Time, Access Wire. That covers the major headlines for today in the cannabis sector. Now let's dig into a few interesting stories. First up here is a story about BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed News launching its own cannabis brand, and no, it's not called Buzzweed. Today 3:26 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. If you had been listening to Benzinga's Cannabis Hour on Thursday, you would have heard the news. If not, here it is. BuzzFeed, the global digital media company and 2021 winner of a Pulitzer Prize, has now decided that in addition to reporting about one of the fastest growing industries in the US, it will be joining it. BuzzFeed has launched its own cannabis brand. And, no, the cannabis line is not called Buzzweed, which some lament as a missed opportunity. The new brand is called Goodful. Launched under the umbrella of its lifestyle brand by the same name, BuzzFeed is partnering with California-based weed producer NUG Incorporated and will release 3 different Goodful branded flower packs, reported Forbes. Indica, sativa and hybrid varieties are available at select NUG retailers in California. Long time coming. Apparently, BuzzFeed has long been interested in getting into the cannabis business. To further that goal, BuzzFeed's data science team conducted research to understand its audience's overall cannabis and CBD habits and preferences. We found that our audience was interested in BuzzFeed bringing them branded cannabis products, and the insights revealed that Goodful's audience, in particular, was interested in branded cannabis products and recommendations, BuzzFeed's Senior Vice President of Brand Licensing and Brand Design Eric Karp told Forbes. From there we connected with NUG, which opened up an opportunity for us to do a real-world test and enter the market. BuzzFeed knows how to market. BuzzFeed, launched in 2017, is no stranger to brand licensing. As part of an early partnership with Penguin Random House, BuzzFeed produced a series of tasty cookbooks, which quickly became New York Times bestsellers and have sold more than 1 million copies worldwide. Since then, BuzzFeed's licensing business has exploded with all manner of household and cooking product offerings, including a collaboration with McCormick's, NYSE, MKC, to produce a brand of cooking spices, tasty seasonings. So why not another herb? The company's experience and now its mission to normalize the cannabis experience made BuzzFeed the perfect partner for NUG, the company's co-founder and CEO Dr. John Oram said in the Forbes interview. The NUGX Goodful products are high quality and competitively priced, and consumers will absolutely enjoy their purchase. Beyond the products, this collaboration between NUG and BuzzFeed presents the opportunity to normalize how cannabis products are advertised online, Oram said. Through branded Goodful posts, we will experiment with targeted localized cannabis ads that are both discreet and classy, which will help direct customers to find NUG stores and NUGX Goodful products. Well, there you go. It looks like BuzzFeed is seriously getting down to business. Next up, we are going to look at this story about hemp and its resurgence in use for textiles. Why is there a renewed interest in hemp by textile and manufacturing companies? Today 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. The truth is, the interest in hemp by textile and manufacturing companies never really left. The demand has always been there, but legal restrictions needed to be lifted so that hemp could be grown in the US and companies could use hemp in products and materials. In the meantime, US companies relied on imports. In addition to its known uses, new technological discoveries have been made in the use, sustainability and impact of hemp on the environment. To put it simply, both the fiber and hurd that comes from hemp are used in many different materials and products. In textiles, hemp is stronger than cotton. For example, Levi Strauss & Company, NYSE, Levi, uses hemp in its jeans to keep knees from wearing out. Pound for pound, many claim that it's more than 10 times stronger than steel, allowing car and electric vehicle manufacturers to reinforce door panels and other vehicle parts without adding weight to the finished ride. Ironically, hemp is also biodegradable. An early supporter of environmental protection, Henry Ford, NYSE, often used hemp in his car designs, unveiling an all-cannabis vehicle design in 1941. Despite being in the midst of prohibition. BMW, OTCMKTS, BMW is another current example, using hemp-based fibers to strengthen its car paneling. Hemp could solve the current lumber crisis, with hemp-based materials being cheaper than wood, more readily available and harvested every year. Wood products made from hemp are said to be more beautiful and more solid than that from trees. Hemp is used in the design of hardwood floors and wood paneling, saving contractors thousands of dollars per project for a far more superior product. They're even using it to create hempcrete, a concrete made from biomass post-processing. Hemp is also naturally rot, fire, and mold resistant, as well as low dust and pest-free. Although there are strains of hemp that are more specifically grown for fiber and hurd, the current boom in growing is for flower strains for CBD. This has led to an enormous amount of hurd biomass as a byproduct. A few companies are using this byproduct from processing and extraction operations to create pet bedding and lining materials for animals of all sizes. Generation Hemp Incorporated, OTCQB, GENH, happens to be one of these companies. Maximum harvest, limited deadlines. Generation Hemp Incorporated, a Dallas, Fort Worth-based company, is building out a midstream company in the hemp space. This venture came as the highly anticipated byproduct of a merger, M&A, between Energy Hunter Resources and Home Treasure Finders Incorporated. Home Treasure Finders was taken over in late 2019 and has since been converted into what's now becoming the go-to processor for drying, cleaning, stripping and storing hemp for farmers and growers within the southeastern U.S. GenH Halcyon is Generation Hemp's wholly owned subsidiary, serving southwest Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, and Illinois. It's the reason Generation Hemp is considered the dry cleaners of the hemp industry. This heavy machinery is capable of handling more than 100,000 pounds of wet hemp per day and taking something that is generally 80% to 90% of straight moisture content down to less than 10%. Since most of the hemp strains grown in the US are dedicated to CBD and other in-demand cannabinoid byproducts, preserving cannabinoid content and keeping terpenes intact is crucial, as certain drying methods and temperatures can be what makes or breaks them. Halcyon's advanced drying services ensure that plants are handled and processed delicately in order to maximize quality and minimize degradation. Halcyon's state-of-the-art cleaning system, located in a 48,000 square foot facility, efficiently and effectively removes hemp stalks, stems and seeds. The screening and filtration system is easily adjusted to meet variable biomass specifications and returned as a highly marketable, homogenized biomass form within hours of harvest. The team at Halcyon understands the importance of accurate and verified testing, providing both pre- and post-process certificate of analysis (COA) testing to include moisture, CBD, or other target cannabinoids, and THC percentages, on site. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, requires all hemp farmers to have hemp tested on a regular basis. COA testing is done by extraction labs and third-party testing labs in key sectors of the business. Halcyon provides its customers with verified results in just minutes, ensuring greater speed to market. At one point, receiving a COA from an off-site lab would generally take up to 2 weeks. Regulations around testing requirements have been in constant flux and will be a key factor in how many supply chain operations flesh out. However, that other shoe drops, having the ability to test material at the drying and processing stage provides critical insight at a critical point in the process, both for compliance and for determining profitability based on cannabinoid content. Recycling biomass stalks, disposing excess through sustainability. The lack of processing capacity in most regions of the country makes it difficult for growers to get their harvests ready for market. Many farmers and growers still hang-dry their hemp by hand, which requires expensive, and hard-to-come-by, labor, a lot of space and time. The entire process can be weather-sensitive, and the final product still needs a buyer after all is said and done. In this scenario, many farmers and growers are forced to deal with their buyers directly, which is not always ideal to a farmer or grower, as the hemp supply chain and infrastructure is not as fully developed as other agricultural crops like corn or soybeans. Teaming up with a service provider like Generation Hemp and Gen H Halcyon can help connect farmers and growers to buyers and distribution. Here, the service provider becomes a sort of hub, or conduit, for buyers who know that the facility is in a centralized location. Because the product comes from several different farmers and growers, they know it will be processed for optimal homogenization, clean and consistent all the way through. This also means that buyers don't need to scramble to find extraction-ready material for processing or manufacture, and farmers don't have to scramble to look for a buyer. Now that farmers and buyers have been paired, what happens with the millions of pounds of herd biomass that is left over? Generation Hemp has geared up to make use of this waste stream, transforming it into a valuable commodity. Herd or shiv, as some call it, is used for creating hemp-based materials for building and industry. Due to its rot dash, mold, and fire-resistant properties, it also makes for other amazing uses. Since the flower is what farmers, growers and processors are currently after, the herd that's left behind becomes a waste stream product that can quickly become difficult to manage. There was a time during the Industrial Revolution, for example, when gasoline was simply considered a waste stream product that came from the process of making kerosene. But then one day, John D. Rockefeller and a bright mind in his company found a way to use this pesky gasoline waste. We all know how that turned out. Now, as cries for the next green revolution reach a fever pitch, a handful of companies are beginning to find ways to make use of every single part of the hemp plant. Only this time, the flower plays the part of kerosene, and the herd is that pesky gasoline. Processing hemp for flour leads to millions of pounds of herd biomass each year. Farmers continue to bale and stack it up, but it's still taking up valuable space. As it turns out, hemp herd is becoming a coveted material for animal bedding. According to several studies, it's considered the healthiest bedding for animals to use. Who knew so many animals would get their best rest on milled herd from hemp? This is a game changer because Generation Hemp takes an already environmentally friendly product and makes it even more sustainable. As a result of this byproduct, production of animal bedding is set to ramp up, and you can expect to see an uptick on the supply side in the coming months. Animal bedding may be the lowest hanging fruit for using hemp hurd, but once manufacturers can rely on a consistent supply of U.S. hemp hurd for large-scale manufacturing, and farmers can rely on manufacturers buying hemp for those industrial applications, the use of U.S. hemp hurd and fiber will displace imports. Animal bedding will merely be a flagship for companies like Generation Hemp Incorporated. To learn more about hemp, industrial applications and Generation Hemp, visit https://www.genhempinc.com. Always fascinating to hear the many uses for our favorite plant. Next we have a story about Skymint opening a new dispensary in Coldwater, Michigan. Skymint opens the largest cannabis dispensary in Coldwater, Michigan, offering 60 brands and cool atmosphere. Today 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time, Benzinga. Michigan cannabis retailer Skymint announced Friday it has opened its 15th retail shop and its third store opening within the last month. Located in the tri-state region of Coldwater, the store is located at 352 S. Willowbrook, just off Interstate 69 in the former Sears building. This Skymint Coldwater shop is the third and largest cannabis storefront to enter the city's booming cannabis retail scene. The opening celebration that included a ribbon-cutting ceremony with members of the Coldwater Area Chamber of Commerce was held on August 5. The store is designed in a boutique gallery-like style, with white walls and a high industrial ceiling, complemented with handcrafted wooden shelves. The cozy atmosphere is achieved with the addition of lounge chairs, vinyl record players, hanging pipe rails and a large woven mural made by artist Julie Lowry that welcomes customers with the words, "Flower to the people." At the Skymint Coldwater, Michiganders can choose from more than 60 cannabis brands, including Skymint X DNA Genetics Collection, the largest selection available anywhere in Michigan and made of globally awarded strains. At Skymint, we're about celebrating the intersection of cannabis, fashion, food, art, and music, Skymint's Senior Director of Marketing, Amy Michalak stated. This store was specifically chosen for its location and convenience, allowing us to bring an unparalleled shopping experience to locals as well as those traveling through. Jeff Radway, CEO and co-founder of Skymint, noted that the company is proud to power up Michigan's economy and the cannabis industry. We invest in each and every community of which we are a part, with over 500 new jobs created throughout Michigan and $500,000 invested in organizations and non-profits to date. Our mission here in Coldwater is to revive what was once one of the city's largest retail destinations by leveraging what we do best at Skymint, cultivating happy plants, a happy workforce, and happy customers who walk through our doors multiple times per month, Radway concluded. Okay, that's gonna wrap up today's show. As always, the purpose of this show is to inform and spread the word globally about the cannabis sector and the uses for this wonderful plant. As Johnny always says, I am not a financial advisor, I'm just a big fan of the plan, investing, trading, and research, and we hope this podcast will inspire you to do more research into the endless possibilities for this sector. As always, thanks again for listening. This is the Johnny Fongo Show, and we want you to have a profitable day. Reply forward.